Well, the Murloc was posted before I started it.
Okay,
So that one gets off the hook.
Murloc's
why do you
off the hook. I see.
look at them chibi eyes?
As they are wont to do.
If I remember correctly, last time somebody got stabbed. We found
That
some.
was me.
It might have been you, yes.
We found some teleportation stuff and some bookkeeping.
Ah, yes.
The rest I forgot.
Our fine
Yeah.
friend the druid decided to sink into the floor.
As his ability to do.
It is his right. Can't believe Skeletor saying yo on my stream. All right then, we have a kitty in a schoolroom with books
Else.
and complex math on a big board. That's for Lamos.
I was just sticking my head indoors and seeing what happened.
Where
Only ended bad for me once.
where did we leave our good friend Gibraltar?
He's on a different map, I think they
Yeah.
were.
No,
I think Carl and Delta were somewhere
No,
else.
no. Carl and the other guy are upstairs. But you and I think Grub are still downstairs somewhere. Yeah, Grub went out for a walk.
Yeah, with the dog. In the middle of the night, even if the guards didn't like it.
She's like,
To
don't,
get
don't
fresh
do
air.
it. Don't do
This
that.
is
She's
a
like,
dream.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Okay, we have the other guy. And we have Carl and Gulter. A lot of G named people in this team. Upstairs, in your itty bitty bedroom, having a conversation.
Yeah, I believe that Galder had just given me the ledgers he found, and I am going to take a second look over them because I'm better with books.
Awesome. All right then. Is anyone here particularly interested in taking charge, as in wanting to go first, or should I just appoint a random person to take the horrible responsibility? Because I'm gonna go for Valentine.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, like, I can go first if no one else wants to.
If someone absolutely has to start playing,
Yeah. If we have to play this game, I
I'll-
guess I'll play.
you'll make the sacrifice. All right, you're in a classroom. I don't know what you found out about this classroom, but you sure are in it.
Found out it's a classroom. There wasn't anything of interest in here,
Potentially.
potentially.
As opposed to that other room with the wand you stole.
Well, stealing, taking, it's a matter of opinion.
You got a wand of shooting. What was it again? Hot steam, air.
It does something. I think it throws like air.
Yeah, it shot you up into the sky.
It's basically a hairdryer.
It hurt.
Well,
Poor innocent kitty butt.
gotta start looking in other rooms then.
You walk down the hallway. Noticing again that these are labeled as teacher offices.
This one.
Do you wish to intrude upon a teacher's office?
Oh, I'll like peek in. If someone's in there, I'll probably leave them alone.
You take a peek into one of the teacher's offices. You see a nicely made office. It's about what you'd expect from a wizard's office. Nothing out of the ordinary there. Lots of books, half carved and some finished wands, although you're not quite sure if these work or not. You can always give it a go. It's difficult to tell if there's anything worthwhile from here. There's a room on the other side. There's a door that goes somewhere.
Well, no one's in here. I might as well go in and have a closer look around.
You invite yourself in. Excellent.
I'm an adventurer. I'm welcome everywhere.
Cool. I mean, you're welcome in the sense that you're, you know, a dumb enough shit to go everywhere you like.
Exactly.
But that's what adventurers do. You're in the room.
I'm in the
You
room.
notice all the potion bottles on the wall, most of which are empty. There's like a whole stack of labels with like a very narrow ink pen that's used to write on them. You decide to look over his personal office. This is quite clearly where he writes fanciful books. His latest book appears to be on... Wow, this guy must be pretty paranoid. He's writing extensively about how he's trying to research spells that you tell at a glance if someone is going to betray you in the future.
That seems to be going around. Well, seems like this guy's not at all interesting. I'm gonna have a look at the next door.
You take a look at the next door and find yourself in a bedroom.
Oh,
Judging by how messy the bed is, this teacher does not take cleaning his room very, doesn't treat his quarters well. The closet is swung open and a lot of, well, they're rather dusty robes by the looks of it. You can still see
Right.
dust settling from him trying to grab any of them.
gross teacher's business.
Nice tub of water in the corner in case you want a drink, although it's probably used for washing.
Yeah, I was gonna say I probably don't want to drink any of that.
You're a cat. You don't care. You are
I'm
not...
a cat with standards.
Yeah,
You're
it
not a
has to be a gamer
Humans are the
girl.
only creatures with standards. If you were an elf, I would have said you're an elf. Of course you drink dirty bathwater. You're an elf. You're graceful. It's all
Only
nature.
if-
It's all natural.
Only if it's from a gaming girl.
To the north by way of the door, you hear the stomping of a patrolling guard, you assume? There's a lot of metal clanging,
Probably don't.
as well
want
as the trickle of
no.
rain, because you're close to the wall.
Probably not. Probably helps him get to sleep. Yeah, this seems unrelated to anything that we want to be able to do.
There's a laboratory over here.
Ooh, sounds more interesting.
The guard gives you a funny look as you approach the laboratory and demands to know what your business is in there.
Just cleaning, like sweeping with a broom that I picked up along the way to make myself look nonchalant.
Throwing the broom around. Ah, you sure? It's pretty dangerous in there. People might get hurt trying to look through.
Yeah, maybe less people will get hurt if someone actually went in and cleaned the dang place.
You see his nostrils flare up as he gives you a very narrow squint. And you decide to enter the room. You find a laboratory. Metal tables lined with potions ingredients. The air filled with a very sharp smell. In fact, the air itself feels weird on your skin. It's a little bit tingly under all that fur.
Gross.
And there's the constant sound of bubbling and trickling. It's probably the equipment over there that's still filled to the brim with stuff rotating through it. To the best you can tell, it's some sort of long-form distillation process. Because there's no one around, so it probably takes a while.
Gross. Titrations. I don't want to think about high school. Anything of any value or import in here? Like,
I mean, there are lots of potions. Like, bottles filled with probably finished potions. There are labels next to them, none of which have been written on yet.
oh boy.
So if you would like to, you can always try a random potion.
That always goes well, I bet.
It can only work out, really.
Well, I'll give one a go. Just one. You know, while I'm
60.
here, might as well.
You can let's sing a D100.
Oh boy. Six.
Well, that's an interestingly low number, I'd say.
Glad I'm getting it out of the way now.
All your fur turns to feathers, and you're very floofy.
What?
Oh.
I don't want to be a bird.
Like all your clothes feel just a little too tight now with all this fluff pushing up against it.
Mm. Don't want to be a chicken.
Bok bok. Well, you don't have a beak, so on the plus side, you're not gonna have to speak awkwardly. You are, however, again, very fluffy and a little worn now.
Don't be fluffy. Just very, very sadly put that back on the shelf. Little pout going on.
You put half of the remaining potion that honestly just tasted like feathers now that you think about it.
Gross. Disgusting. Gross.
Liquid feathers. What a drink.
If you drank the other half, it would be the full half.
Dalmor, that is an obnoxiously feathery boy. He takes no fall damage, for he is too non-aerodynamic. In the meantime, Grubbelix is walking his dog. You're out and about on an island that's covered in a permanent rainstorm.
Perfect. I love it.
You'll probably get used to the lightning after a while. But for now, it's just very dark. You can't see too far ahead before it starts to get blurry and hazy because of all the rain droplets bending light.
This song's playing while Grimbo's out walking.
Is there any specific path you wish to take? Would you try to visit any other structures? Would you specifically stay away from them and focus on the more natural features? As there are lots of weird trees that go around here. For example, there's a tree that looks almost like an umbrella, with all of its broad hydrophobic leaves redirecting the water away from its bark.
Can't I just take a walk around the keep?
You want to take a nice stroll around the keep.
So I don't get lost, hopefully.
Yeah, it's easy to get lost. That is an insult. You decide to take a nice stroll around this beautiful keep. It's elevated quite a few feet above the ground if you don't take the main entrance. It looks like it's been excavated intentionally more than a natural feature that was here, as there are lots of places where you think they're probably in a dirt line. But on the other hand, it's quite big. Like, this is a well-fortified position. If they pulled up the gate and started just pelting people, they could keep it for hours. And with all this rain and wind, flying or attacking from above would be kind of dangerous. Even climbing a ladder might be a risky maneuver in this set of conditions. Is there any feature you'd like to discern other than the fact that the roof looks shiny from here? The whole place looks shiny because it's all wet.
That's how wet stuff works.
I guess if some wall or something like that would look suspicious, I would check it out. But if I don't see anything of...
You can roll me some perception to see if you can notice anything interesting from the exterior. Huzzah.
Yeah.
Huzzah. 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 Marvelous. A few things you can notice from here. One of the towers, the southwest one, has a really long lightning rod on top of it. It's a very long metal rod and it's kind of crooked. It clearly looks out of place. The northwest tower, on the other hand, has some large telescope-like device on it. It's like a very long rod that sticks out and points at the sky. You're not quite sure if you could ever see the sky in these conditions, but other than that, there's a surprising lack of guards patrolling the outer wall.
Okay.
Like, you think with all this that someone would patrol the wall since they're there to be patrolled, but it seems everyone's staying inside.
Well, it is raining.
It is raining.
It's really hard to see beyond very far, so having a lookout is...
Kind of pointless, except if you have 2 cents or something else.
There are also many windows that on the higher floors, like the first floor and all, where it's probably fortified. The windows are arrow slits for the most part. But up top, it looks like there are proper windows up there.
No.
Anything else you would like to discern from here? As you gaze upon a building that strikes you as the glistening body of a bodybuilder. Rock solid and rather shiny. Except it's water, not oil. It's hard to imagine what the rock looks like when it's not completely soaked and darkened as a result of it. Alright, but your fingers, remove them from your nostrils and pick a move to bust.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go back in after the walk because I don't see much.
Soaking
outside.
wet and probably at least a couple of pounds heavier as a result of all that water. You return. Your dog does not resemble what they looked like when they left, because every single bit of fur is just hanging down.
And then it shakes.
And you took your time, by the way. You didn't just walk around for a happy, lackadaisical time. No, you looked, and so you're just, and they all just get a good chuckle out of watching you walk your way back, leaving a trail like a snail.
Yeah, perfect shaggy moment. I love it.
Yeah.
You are recommended to find a source of heat and dry up. In the meantime, Gulter and Carl are having a sit in their bedroom that was assigned to them.
Yeah.
After a little bit of time, you hear someone scribble something on the door, and then they leave.
Oh,
No? Well, I
Housekeeping.
take a look.
You don't see anything written on your door, but you now have the hovering text that indicates that this room is occupied.
Alright then. Well, the room has been marked as ours, I guess. Or used by us anyway. So, make any heads or tails of that book there?
okay. So I guess this is the part where I roll like linguistics or something.
Can you remind me what book you're looking at?
The ledgers.
Ah, yes. You already realized that there's something funky going on, like a lot of money
Yeah.
went missing. What do you hope to learn from the ledgers otherwise?
Good question, honestly. Just double checking Galter's work and finding the financial stuff, I guess.
You're quite certain that what Gulter suspected is right. There's no check involved with realizing that indeed the ledgers don't quite add up. And there's a lot of weird donations going outwards. Considering the amount of money this is and the fact that they're political donations, this must be quite the work to transport.
Yeah. Is there anything about income and stuff?
About incoming?
Yeah, because like there's a lot of info about stuff being given away, but is there anything about stuff being received that would be out of place?
Alright, in that case, how far back do you wish to look?
We've been on this adventure for like a few weeks now. How far does this ledger go? Probably a year.
Oh, quite a while.
Yeah.
There's at least a couple of seasons in here.
Yeah, so I'm going to totally check like the current season first and
As you take a look, you notice that there are several payments a couple of months ago that are all for a certain type of personality modification research. It is also around this time that there is an increased spending on more frivolous things. One might call collectibles.
yeah.
Could I get all them amigos?
Man, look at that. Oh man, the silky chicken. And then we got this really sad. You should not go outside, BK. You'll probably return saggier than ever is possible.
Yeah. Okay, so
Now, you were specifically requested to learn why Deem is involved in this. You
yeah.
you know that he's providing at the very least money, as a ledger would indicate. You don't quite know what he's getting in return. That he clearly isn't paid in money by the looks of it. You're still
Yeah.
gonna find out how he got to Vigil and where Deem himself keeps sneaking off to.
Yeah. And I suspect I would have to go check out the diaries in the restricted section of the library to
That
learn
could certainly
that.
help.
Yeah, so I guess I'll ask Galter what idea would he have on getting there that's not trying to ask nicely.
Hum. Well, I... do you want me to punch someone?
I can do punching.
Master of strategy, Gulta.
Well, that's the problem. Like, trying to incite violence in here is probably just going to get us kicked out, and it's kind of nasty outside.
Yes, I am not very confident in my skills at sneaking. That's really not my forte, as it were.
He's a lot better at providing distraction for people that are sneaking.
Yeah, like, I saw that there's like 2 guards standing by the entrance. I don't know if they would react to any kind of nearby problem.
Like topple some statues.
That would be exceedingly rude.
So you want me to provide the distraction?
And then there's the librarian. And then there's the fact that it's dark in there.
It's
Although
magically
I
dark.
guess- yeah. Although for that, I bet I figure out something, but not.
Magically dark.
Dark vision still works in there, but natural light sources do not.
Yeah.
I don't think I have any vampirize dark vision. Yeah.
So I guess we have the rest of the night and the day to figure something out.
Sure. You can all buddy up together. Rub some elbows with each other.
Who even wants to buddy up
Guess I
with
could
the rest
go look
with?
for the others to see what they think.
Yeah, it's probably late enough now that we should probably all head to the room and meet up and get some rest
You've
so that
all
we're not
seen something.
still exhausted.
So yes, you all meet up in your little room. Just give me a moment as I drag it. There you go. And just drop y'all in so that you don't have to worry about that. Grublix, Bo, Valentine. It's gonna be a busy room,
It's gonna be warm.
especially since I imagine that Galter is so tall that he probably doesn't fit in most beds well enough.
He's used to it.
I mean, I believe that like Roblex is really super tall.
Let's
All right.
Galter is 5'8". Yeah.
Yeah, so that's about what I am in real
That's
life.
like average Joe average.
Yeah, I know. I can't imagine Galter would be taller than that.
I mean, he's probably more broad than he is tall. Big muscles.
He is 5'8" wide and 5'8" tall. He's a square.
He takes up the whole cube.
So what's your size? 5 foot cube. I'm short
Yeah.
and stout. Imagine being a
Possible
10-foot
limit.
cube and qualifying for disintegrate.
No, apparently I'm 6 foot 4 inches. Okay.
Okay, so you're all meeting up. You watch as Valentine is still very feathery. You notice that, well, Grubblix is still quite wet. They both seem
Val is
to have
just
been on
the
their own
most-
little adventures.
That's the most miserable look at her face. Just so cranky about the feather situation.
You only sipped a bit. It'll probably wear off at some point.
Yeah.
What did you do?
None of your business. Don't worry.
He ate a wizard. He got too much magic in his diet because he ate a wizard.
You're looking birdie.
Did you just call him Birdie? Oh. Well, then,
Bird.
you wanted to formulate a plan, was it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you might not want to eat the food that is being served today.
Oh, yeah. Didn't you throw, like, a metric shit ton of garbage in there?
Yeah, he
Yes.
poisoned everything in the kitchen.
Alchemical garbage.
But then I have the cancer purify food.
And for the point, there was no reason to do that.
He was bored.
And these guys aren't hostile or anything. It's just you've ruined their dinner.
He was just trying. He was just trying to show them that they shouldn't keep their chemicals in the kitchen.
Mhm.
It's an important lesson.
So I guess the guards tomorrow might be sick or irate.
There's gonna be a lot going on, yes.
It's gonna be some cues for the toilet.
Yeah, and you also have to attend dinner, so you're gonna have to sit there awkwardly not eating your food.
Yeah, I'm just gonna cast the cantrip on it.
Ah, man, this food is delicious. That's the verbal component. Is so good. Put this yummy in my tummy. So, kids, you're gonna wait for dinner and watch the magic happen?
Does anyone else have any ideas?
You wait for the big dinner in the big room. Perhaps just a switch. Oh, let me see. Oh, it's the sword I'm meant to be safe. What if she cuts herself? That will be an important lesson. Goddamn, why is there a chat where like everyone's posting freaking ferrets? Get a load of this ferret, man.
Where the ferrets at? Oh man, look at those ferrets.
Great. Anyway, y'all make your way to the Great Hall. As dinner is served, the food smells great, except Galter, who is very acutely aware of the fact that it does not. The dog, too, is like, this is bad. Like, anyone with a particularly heightened sense of smell will very much pick up on the fact that there's something off about the cooking. Although the chefs... Because, okay, so allow me to explain this. Galter, you can smell the poison, but they very clearly try to cover it up. And in the way that someone like puts way too much salt in a dish to give it flavor. So since Galter has informed you, you could try to pick it out, but for the most part, it's like this just smells off by virtue of being way too strongly made. Of course, the Kuai attends and sits at the head table. The room is filled to the brim with individuals. Let me just draw in the section of the map.
Man, it's a big room.
That is a big room. And it has a window that overlooks the sea off in the distance. If you were to actually push up to the window and look straight down, you would all see a massive hole going into the ground. But from here, you just see more clouds and the occasional lightning blast that lights up the place. The way it's organized is that servants sit closer to the exterior and to the back, away from the main table. More important people sit closer to the front. So that way, the cannon fodder dies first, and the guard can mobilize and tighten their straps a bit while they wait for everyone to die so they can start fighting. All right. How about everyone roll me a d20? You're basically rolling the fortitude saves of all these poor schmucks.
Oh, it's going well so far.
Hey.
Going
2, 8,
pretty
12,
impressively.
15.
Okay. All right. Let me just go over. Okie dokie. Okay. I need one more. I'll just roll that one myself. Oh, that's just spiffy. Good news, everyone. Well, there are 5 sort of main factions in the building. There are the guards, the servants, the great magisters, aka the magic boys, the scryers, and the healers, who keep everyone on their feet. The scryers and healers, they look fine. There's definitely some going on, but they're fine. The magisters, the servants, and the guards, however, specifically the guards, because they're first on the list. They get Galters 2. There's just a whole bunch of unpleasant noise, vomiting, falling over. The beholder just looks on as the entire guard just curls up into a communal ball. Whoa. Wow! Did you see that? Jesus.
Yeah.
This food's probably too spicy for those little losers.
This is art.
Let me just involve his advisors and the counselor. Well, should we cancel dinner? We should cancel dinner. There's just this constant. Like
Moaning of the
the whole-
dam.
you're pretty sure it's quieter in a graveyard of freshly made zombies.
Ugh.
Also, the smell of food is starting to get overtaken by the smell of less pleasant things.
Of also dinner, but sort of process.
There are some people who didn't eat who like probably took their time, or one has like a book in one hand and it's like, oh. You see all the scryers and healers like, told you so, I told you so. And people are cashing in their bets.
Yeah, I believe that's the point of scryers. They are the one that tell people, I told you so.
Yep. At this point, as the beholder's like about to make a declaration, a whole bunch of people get shanked as they are groaning on the floor. The beholder grows ever more like, okay, I see. Everyone needs a moment to calm down. They calm down, right? Okay. Everyone needs to calm down. I want everyone to just go back to their room for a moment. Will someone get me the chefs? And look at that and he's like, yes, you call your chefs. This is the part where you execute them.
Oh boy.
It
Glad I'm not
sounds
those
so
guys.
mean, though. Why would I execute my chefs? They did their best to help. Like, I mean, oh, that stuff's spicy. You burn a hole in my table, and the plate hovers up, and acid is spilled over the table, and actually burns a hole in it. Look at that. Jeepers.
Otto loves it. He loves the food.
Galter's like, I used too much, didn't I? Nah, you never
A
can.
little excessive.
You can never poison too much, really. Too much poison is that they didn't die because you cured them by poisoning them too much. Because all the guards are unfortunately on the floor, you're expected to leave at your own behest, as the beholder is very confused about the situation and sort of hovers over and out of the room. Ooh,
Well.
ooh, yeah, okay. Everyone take a break. Free vacation days tomorrow. I'm gonna go. And the door closes behind them. The The Chamberlain takes order and immediately orders that any guards that are still able immediately start making arrests and start creating order by any means necessary.
Wow, that's pretty rude.
Yes,
Well,
you might want to duck out of the room if you don't want to get involved in a scrap.
yeah, might be an idea. Just kind of.
Can I take some food with me?
Yes, you can definitely pick up a plate or two and take some of this poison with you.
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
sure
I
as
could
hell they didn't eat all
purify
of
it.
it.
Sprinkle on that magic dust.
Yeah. I need my food, damn it.
I'm thirsty. Let me be.
Thirsty.
You skitter out in a small procession of wizards with weak stomachs, divine healers who are like, yeah, I'll wait for them to come to me. Servants that are very nervous or sick, but not that sick. You kind of get pushed aside as this massive spill of people goes out, and the whole room just sounds ever more terrible. The beholder is floating off to the side and above, watching everyone sort of scoot on by. Gosh, man. I was hoping they'd be quiet, but here you go. Hey,
Okay.
you over there, that one of his eyes like points you. You look like you're actually going to stop for a moment and do you know what happened? Why is everyone sick?
I
Are
don't
my
know,
shifts
maybe
that
they don't like
bad?
chili.
Chili? Is this chili? I mean, it's
I
more
don't know,
hot,
looks-
but
It looks spicy.
yeah, it's not chili. It's not cold.
Oh,
Seems that something is off with the food. I don't know. Isn't that the usual thing you have here? I never ate here.
I don't really eat here either. But you shouldn't tell people that I don't eat here. I only pretend to. It makes the cooks
gotta
feel
keep up
better.
appearances.
Actually, you go to the sushi stand.
I don't
There's
like
a
this
Macca's
stuff.
around the corner.
This is all normal people food. It's boring. Oh, well, I got a bag. They take out this small cloth bag and it rustles oddly, as if a lot of like wooden chips are inside of it. You want some? Yellow disc-ish shaped objects float to their mouth, and when they bite into them, they crunch really loudly.
I
Sound sharp,
Uh,
like ceramics.
I think one shouldn't say no if somebody is getting offered food from somebody.
Yeah, man, this shit's like so much better. I have to go to someone. I have to go to someone else to buy this, but it needs working, man. It's like I can eat stuff that burns a hole in my stomach, or I can eat just good food, you know. Now, I mean, it leaves marks on my pages, but you know that's why I use spells. Here, you have some. It's great. Well, fine, then don't have some.
I kind of lost my appetite after that whole scene, if I'm honest.
The bag, by the way, smells salty and seasoned, so to speak.
They're just
Maybe
eating
later.
Doritos.
I mean, it's pretty close.
Fantasy Doritos. TM.
Fantasy dreams. They're shaped like wizards' hats. I mean, technically, it's not that hard to make a fried meal. Problem would mostly be the frying process. But I'm pretty sure that in Fantasy World they could figure out how to flash fry something. They can make fireballs happen. I cast Greasy Fireball and instantly fry a chicken. Who needs wall chicken when you can have wall meat? Why is there a gif of a guy slowly eating a Dorito?
I shouldn't dare. It's freaking Wayne. He can do what he wants.
Yeah, I think that's what the bloody Wayne's World product placement joke.
Oh man, can you imagine Doritos that didn't look like gamers, am I right? Oh yeah, electric boogaloo flavor. We're mean tastic. And then this cool kid with like a backwards cap comes on and crosses his arms, you know. It's like we're back in the 90s.
It's the cool snack.
The 90s are almost more than 20 years ago.
Stop it.
In a little bit of time, anyone who was born in 1990 and before will be 30 years old. In case you want some historical perspective on the fact that anyone who thinks the 90s is recent lives in a time hole, and I want to meet these people so I can take their time hole and take it somewhere else. I want your time hole, you 90s people. Give it to me. In public.
It's still more,
It's so
still
true.
more recent.
Dragon scales, yeah, that's what he's eating.
I mean, I imagine they may be. I don't know how scales taste, but they may be crunchy since they're dragons. They're pretty tough. Just
Yeah, I think they are hard and.
the metallic ones, however, are bend more than they crunch. Anyway, he as he offers it, he just kind of hovers there, presumably waiting for this procession to end. What do? You gonna wait with him, or?
I think I'm going to, go hide and see where they go. Just kind of like get out of sight.
Oh, this is like every.
I think I'm going to mage hand a Dorado.
You may hand out one of these strange yellow discs. You examine it closely. Sniff, sniff. It smells edible and tasty, maybe. It's not quite as soft and tender as most food stuffs you're used to. It's more like nuts, really.
Yeah, so I've been presumably having a lot of trail rations recently, what with our travels. That tends to be dry and stuff as well.
Dry and salty, yes. This is similar to rations, but it has so much more flavor. It's kind of surprising.
Ooh,
It tastes pretty good. Like after trail rations for a while, this is like oh, that's some nice kick.
Yeah.
It crunches
Carl
loudly.
is an addict now.
Like everyone hears this.
It's wizard fuel.
You heard the crunch in the
Am
whole
I right,
castle.
whiz boys? No whiz girls allowed. Oh.
Skateboarding sounds.
There's no such thing as a real whiz girl. They're all fakers.
Jesus Christ.
You're not a real wizard if you're just a sorcerer on mobile, with your unassigned slots.
So, what is Valentine doing?
I am hiding.
You're gonna
Hiding.
follow the beholder, was it?
Yeah.
Well, lucky for you, it doesn't take long before everyone who can still stand on their legs is out, and the density of people is low enough that the beholder's like, yep, I'm just gonna float over this without having to smell everyone. Ba ba ba. Roll me some stealth. I can't believe you're rolling stealth against the guy that's made of eyes.
Yeah, and I don't have a very good stealth score. But I'm gonna...
You're also made of feathers, so you're not as noisy as you're expecting to be.
Where's my thing?
Surprisingly, being a chicken helps.
Being a chicken always helps.
There's no situation in which being a chicken is a bad thing. If someone tries to convince you otherwise, they hate chickens. Or they want all the chickeny goodness for themselves. Let's see. What is the perception skill of a beholder? It's pretty good.
Okay. No, it doesn't count for stealth.
Then again, they have so many eyes. Oh, you actually have a chance. Let's see. Okay, if we take the average of that, you have a chance.
I have a chance, but it's not a good one.
You'll get noticed, but since you're still in the building, he's like, nah. As they leave, their advisors and Mr. Chancellor come up and they're like, "Oh, where are you going?" He's like, "I'm personal business. Leave me alone. But we need someone to help officiate." And he's like, no officiation. The whole place smells. The people who have to clean it are probably dead. And every single person I was going to give a lecture to about the importance of pocket protectors is probably dead or dying. Go make this place spick and span. Alack! When I'm done... Here. You see the Chancellor, like, it shoves a whole bag in his hands. I don't want these to get wet, so here, hold on to them. I'll need them when I'm back, okay? I'm just gonna go. But we need you. My work is done! All right. You get to roll me some fresh perception as you reach out into the external world. You have one massive
Yes.
advantage, and that is that it's A, dark, B, the rain is very loud and obstructs most vision. Do you have any special vision traits, such as low light or dark vision?
I've got low light.
Well, good news. The beholder rolls a 1, and you have everything going for you, so I don't think you can botch this. Give me a go. All right. You follow along by your lonesome, figuring that you can solo a beholder one-on-one. Yeah, we're
Well,
going to teach that big guy a
hope-
lesson.
Hopefully it doesn't come to that.
Frick, I need to copy that token because I don't have a sheet I can just copy. Ba-da-ba, because we're going to a new map where the beholder keeps his crap. There we go, that's BK. BK man is here. BK. The pathway goes up towards one of the rockier peaks, where either due to the elevation or the slant of the building, or just that the rain is somewhat more intense here, there isn't much plant life. There is an old abandoned building. Although, for an abandoned building, someone has taken care to keep the windows boarded up and in somewhat of a good shape. The beholder ignores most terrain features as they flow towards the front door.
It's cheating.
I mean, they can float. They don't fly too high because, again, there's lots of wind. Flying off too high would make them susceptible to just getting swept off like a paddle in the ocean.
It's the drawbacks of being shaped like a balloon.
Man, I mean, yeah. On the plus side, you notice that your featheriness is starting to wear off slowly, which is not
Oh, thank
great
God.
because the feathers were actually kind of water resistant and seem to ward off the water. But now, as it turns back to fur, Deem approaches the front door, which is marked with a whole slew of arcane glyphs. They look left, they look right, in very dramatic fashion, but with the certainty that they are not followed one bit.
Haha!
Their eye sparkles. Some sort of magical light at it, and the door swings open. You can peek inside momentarily, seeing a place lit by magical lights and rows of bookcases. You're entering the nerd zone. Be wary.
Oh, nerd zone.
Romeo will save against nerd.
Oh god.
No, don't worry about that.
It's contagious, like vampirism.
The door
Turn
is still
into a
open.
nerd.
You can try to sneak on in while the door is still open, but Demon's right in there.
Yeah, I don't want to get too close. I think I'll just kind of have a look around from just outside the door.
All right. Well, it's eventually the door will close again, so you'll have to find another way in.
I mean, the plan isn't to confront them, it's to find out where they go.
Okay. Well, you found out where they went, to a place with lots of books. And a lot of magical lights, and ooh, that is a cool looking sword over there. It's got like gems in the handle and so on.
Ooh, pretty.
Yeah, man.
Ooh, shiny.
Yeah. One of the large columns in the main hall is like a giant quarterstaff. It has a handle and everything. Then the door closes in your face, and all the rooms start to light up.
Oh.
There is an active field that sort of slightly pushes you back. It explains why there's this circle of nothingness around it. Like all the debris and dust gets pushed aside. It's not big, it's like a 5-foot radius around where the door is.
Well, I found out where they're going, and I probably don't want to bust in there all on my lonesome.
You sure?
Yeah.
There's lots of windows. There may be one that's open.
I mean, I could, but then if I get spotted with my mediocre stealth, I will likely just get obliterated.
Excuse me for a moment.
All right. Neat.
Deem may be a nerd, but they're a nerd with super powerful eye beams and really killer spells.
One of them makes you sparkle.
Hold on, I have a
And
I have a cat stuck up tree emergency.
Oh no!
Oh
While
no!
pick her back up from there.
But we can
Emergency.
we can call in a quick timeout while we contemplate cats and trees.
Get emergency.
Valentine, what would you do if you were stuck up a tree? Would you call the fire department?
Just act like this was all part of the plan. Just relax back in the tree. Make it look like this was my idea.
I'm meowing because I like it.
Don't remind me when our cat was stuck in the barn at the top of, I don't know, and I had to get him down the freaking ladder of 30 feet or something like that, 30 meter, and I had nobody who could hold the ladder, and it was freaking half or 3 in the freaking night, I don't know.
Neat. Well then. Ooh. Ugh. Ooh.
Yeah,
What will-
remain this out.
what's
Doing a
the-
thing.
what-
I'm gonna.
What's the plan for Gulter and Grub while they wait at home?
At the fort itself.
Oh. Well, just by our lonesome, Gulter and I are able to head down into the kitchen instead and grab some edible food.
I mean, Grub can purify the food for you. You'll still taste the poison though. It just won't do anything.
Yeah.
Food is food.
The kitchen is kind of close by, so just
Please don't poison the food for tomorrow now too.
just gonna go and raid the larder before they ransack the place. Grab this one.
Dun. All right then, we'll take care of that. Our good old friend Gulter is raiding the larder. The cooks are not here, as is to be expected, since all the cooks got called up for the fact that poisoning happened.
Yeah.
Also, they were present in the Great Hall waiting for people to enjoy their meal and gloat in their success. King of the nerds. Oh no! So you can take your time picking out stuff. Unfortunately, none of it's cooked. You can find like some carrots, some raw meat. But you'll have to prepare any dishes yourself.
Well, Ade gets a hunk of raw meat. She'll like that. Tell something
Ade's
about.
running around with like a whole string of sausages in their mouth.
Now, I don't know if Galter's ever seen like a banana or an orange or a pineapple, but there are some exotic fruits and vegetables here. There's one that has like a little label on it that says, "Don't cut this one." It's spiky.
Wow. Galter stares at the exotic food distrustfully.
It's probably beholder junk food. Just stick to them apples.
Yeah, apples and carrots and whatnot.
I mean, potatoes are
Apples
also
and cows?
present.
Healthy.
Apples and cows? Are we talking about a horse?
Did you know that potatoes and milk provide you with all the nutrients you need? It's incredible.
Galter will pick up an onion and eat like an apple.
Oh god.
Do you cry?
No.
No.
There is just this man standing in an underground, abandoned kitchen, the smell of poison and excessive use of spice still in the air, eating an onion, just crunch. And while this weird dinosaur creature at his feet eats a hunk of meat of unidentified origin.
Mm-hmm.
It is a sight to behold that unfortunately none will see. All right.
Are these two guards still here? The
Most guards have been given a slap on the back to make sure they're not dead, but they're all like queasy and like leaning on their spear or the walls. Some like aren't even like looking around. They're just like, ugh. It's quite clear they're making do with what they have left.
Okay. Well, I'll try just walking past here.
All right, just drag yourself over there. Your token's down.
There's my token.
It's an onion like an apple. Listen, I don't necessarily dislike onion, but the very thought just makes me go, what does that even taste like if you just eat a half a raw onion?
That man is a former prime minister.
That man is
That
God.
That man led our country. He's also a terrible person, but that's different details.
Isn't
The fact
that,
that he just
uh,
ate a
Feynman?
fucking onion like an apple.
I mean, they say that if you eat an apple, you look like an asshole. So imagine if you eat an onion like an apple. You're a tearjerker, but still an asshole.
I mean, I eat an apple with everything. So do they eat the skin with the onion and everything and the freaking part? Where
Well,
there's
as long
only-
as no one aims a camera at you, you're not an asshole. But the minute they do, it's universal movie language for you're a jerk. Or so I've heard. I don't trust them. They probably ate an apple somewhere during the production.
Should be illegal.
Yeah, man, they should eat a banana. Get their hands all sticky from all the banana juice. Does this Gulter, grub bullocks do anything?
Oh yes, I exist. What?
Do you admire
Yeah.
Gulter eating like you follow him down and watch him eat an onion and then sneak off?
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure that he doesn't poison stuff again.
Well, you eventually do notice that he starts sneaking off to the north. Gulter, you hear lots of groaning through the north door. Grublix might have already told you that the guard quarters, that there's some guards sleeping up there, so there might be more guards not necessarily sleeping.
Well, I'll check out what's over here. With the door.
You find the room filled with things. Spare wood, tools, supplies. Mostly like inorganic-esque things, like not foodstuffs.
Alright.
There's a couple of big barrels with like taps mounted into them as well.
Oh. I try check what's in them.
The first barrel that you open the tap of spills out a thick resin-like substance, but it's purple and smells of grapes.
Huh.
It's not wine that's thick, you know that much. A good way to put this is if you were to make this like slightly colder and like freeze it, it would be like a wine gummy, if anything. But in this current state, it's too liquidy to be solid. That's how phases work.
Oh, but what I thought it was some grape juice concentrate.
It might be. But in the current shape, you feel that you could probably like glue a door shut with this with how sticky and thick it is. Probably not, since why would you make that grape flavored, but grape flavored glue for your favorite child.
Mm-mm.
Is there like a pot or something? Like something to
You want a container?
Hold it.
There's some containers here, yes. There are like some spare pots and spare pans.
Alright. I'll pour some of this grape resin into some kind of pot or pan.
You take a decently sized pan and now a pot, and now have it filled with a lot of something.
Yeah, something which I pour all over this door here and in front of it.
Oh. What would be an appropriate check for trying to weld shut a door with gummy juice?
I'll give it.
Pranking.
Sure. I guess craft is appropriate since you know how to glue stuff.
General tomfoolery.
Grublix watches as Gulter comes out with a pot, and the room starts smelling awkwardly grapey and sweet.
And I roll a 1.
You succeeded welding the door shut. You also succeeded welding yourself to the door.
That was so clear. Freaking pranks.
Like you thought, if I put some extra on the door, then someone will be in the way if they try to barge on through. You get your hand stuck on the door handle.
Crap.
Like, this is very sticky, but you can't quite... okay, now both of your hands are stuck. Okay, you can't really move from your current position until you find a way to release yourself by some means.
Grubelix? You still,
Yeah, I'm
you still
thinking. I'm thinking.
We're turning into a Jim Carrey movie really quick.
Man, even if you get out of this, your hands are going to smell like grapes for days.
If you go, maybe find some water.
Find some water. Create water. There
The room
we go.
just explodes in water.
How's that for finding some water?
Grubbelix, where does this water materialize? You can do up to, so you can decide how much it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but still, where do you materialize this water? Because you can just wash it all over Gulder. Or you
On
can
his hands, of course. So
Okay.
to dilute freaking glue, maybe, I don't know.
Well, fascinating.
And I'm gonna do that as long as it takes to get him moving again.
Just an ever-growing puddle of water. Unfortunately, it seems like water doesn't quite help. The stuff is syrupy, but you can't just wash syrup off with water alone.
Okay.
It's the
Let's
worst.
continue, Walter. Bye.
I can't help. My work is done.
Let's see. Have some...
Freaking boys licking your hands. Cause they're sweet.
It helps more than the water does. Probably licking at the door, too.
Oh. Will soap help?
It might. Where water doesn't help, soap usually does. You cannot
well-
reach for your soap, though.
Yeah, that's why. Grubelix, if you could reach into my backpack and fish out, there's a bar of soap
I
there,
have-
but just watch out for the caltrops.
Nice.
Okay.
Or I just could get my own soap.
Oh, well,
Why does everyone carry soap?
it's useful.
For situations like this.
Yes! I was about to point out they're about to use soap to save the day. On top of that, you can always throw a bar of soap at someone. I cast soap. You are clean. And it's like, actually, he's unconscious.
Soap,
But I guess it starts with a C, too.
Be cleansed!
Soap is basically the counter smell of grease.
Dire flail, but made of soap.
Jesus Christ.
The god of cleanliness compels you. Smack.
Okay.
Alright, the soap will succeed, but there's some bad news for you. As you've been rummaging around for like a bit, and I imagine that Grubbelix took a while to realize that his water plan wasn't exactly working.
Yeah.
You hear like a frustrated magister over here who is like scalding these guards for daring to be poisoned. This sounds like a real ass biter kind of person. And they seem like they're having a great time shouting at these guards who can't stand up for themselves.
As soon as Skull is free, I'm gonna show him the secret room that I found last day. The teleport circle.
Galter's hands now smell of soap and grape.
Right.
Still a little
It
sticky
smells-
in the joints though, but
Well, they smell the worst things. Oh. A secret room?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, let's take a look.
you enter a room with a magic circle.
Oh. Well, isn't this something?
Indeed.
If only we knew how to use it.
Yeah, but I just don't want to be found while they're making a big
It's-
mess at the door.
It's pre-dialed to an address.
Oh. All right. Can
Is it
either of
telephone?
us tell where?
That would be some knowledge arcana.
Hmm.
As you try to reason where a random magic circle may or may not go. I'll also accept spellcraft, but to be at a slight disadvantage, since this is much more theory crafting than practical usage.
Do you have either of those?
Let me check.
How big is your brain?
How much did you pay attention at wizarding school, like a nerd would? You're Grubelix the Druid, you don't have time to do nerd things.
Grubelix learned at the school of life, man.
Yeah, I was a freaking shepherd.
Oh.
Yeah, no idea.
Well done, guys.
Give me a moment. Spellcraft. Oh.
Guy without a magic bone in his body knows all about spells.
Well, I had that trained.
Yeah.
I too.
Alright. You're quite certain that this leads somewhere northwestish? Let me just look at the world map.
I am an Eldritch Guardian. This sort of stuff is sort of in my wheelhouse.
Yeah, you'd say northwest with a particular degree of accuracy. So I'll drag you over to the local area map for a moment so you can decide for yourself what that means.
So yeah. Oh. Northwest-ish. But we can't say how distant that.
It's a decent distance. 100 to 1,000 miles, you'd estimate?
Was the asshole who outlawed us in Vigil?
Yeah, the Vigil is the capital of Lastwell, which is where he got kicked out.
Yeah.
He's
Where
not
the
out of
journey
range.
began.
Well, that's a situation that everyone's way too worried about. I wonder how long it'll take them to call the fire department or whatever. Or specialists in having longer ladders than consumer grade ones. Anyway, hi, what they miss.
Aye. Some slapstick comedy starring the two Stooges. And
Oh, I
Hey!
see. Nothing of importance.
I followed Dean Chan up to a mountain place.
Cool.
Yeah.
Alright.
So, if y'all don't mind, I'm going to say that I'm going to check whether the library area is guarded by guards. If they
All
want to
guards
say.
are still there, but they probably got slapped on the ass for 1 HP and were then told to go back to their posts, sick as they are. So these guards are very much out of it.
Well, I'm not about to attack them. I guess now that there's ruckus, I'm just going to.
They're half
Ask.
leaning against the bars or on their weapons and
I'm just going to ask nicely. Hey, so who is this area restricted to?
You're gonna ask the guards?
Who else will you ask?
The guard answers, oh, people are allowed in, people aren't allowed in. Are you people
I'm a person, yes. May I come
allowed
in?
in?
Oh.
Just cast sleep on them and
Yeah.
I don't know enchantment.
Oh, too bad.
Also, they probably have like more than 5 HD.
I don't know.
Zaffy did just say they get slapped on their ass down to 1 HP.
No, they got slapped like for 1 HP of healing.
Oh.
So
Ah.
they're all like on the brink of falling over. Yeah, and hit dice
Okay.
is a metric by which is essentially it's like monster levels.
Ugh, too many terms. Gross.
I mean, 5e also has hit dice. It just uses it for different purposes.
Yeah.
Also, hit dice is generally not a player-facing value, so. Well, Carl, restricted section away.
Well, I'm a friendly person and I may not come in, so unless I misheard them.
I mean, you're a person. People are allowed in, and people are not allowed in.
Yeah. So
At some point, the cat with swamped boots will return.
whatever, I don't have a means of dark vision anyway. At present.
Valentine, you return. Your boots go sloshy, 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 sloshy as you walk up the stairs. The guards are too out of it to really pay attention. These seem to be the most fit guards out of all of them, and even they are not that great. What do you do as you return back inside?
Well, the one other place I would like to see while the guards are out of it, because I assume if we go to bed and rest up, then they're going to have time to recover from the
Yes.
quote-unquote shitstorm.
They
bet
have
it's-
flags.
See what was behind Captain Nutcase that randomly attacked us before.
Captain Nutcase, to describe it in the most proper possible term, is like face against the wall, slipping down as if he fell forwards and is unconscious now. There's just this as he slides down. He's obstructing most of the hallway. What a jerk.
Ew. Gross.
Otherwise, he's in no position to stop you from doing anything.
Are we talking about Nutcase or Jerk?
Nutcase.
Oh,
Okay. I mean, I
Oh,
could
oh,
probably-
Nutcase over here.
Yeah,
thought you
Nutcase
were-
or Jerk?
I was talking about jerk. As for Nutcase, Nutcase is like face on the table, like sniffling like they had something bad go up or down their nose.
So I could probably, if I could slide past either of them in that case.
Yes.
So probably gonna, squeeze past Jerk first because they're less likely to attack me again.
Where do you go as you squeeze past a jerk?
Door directly behind them.
Well, like I said, he's like face against the wall, so you can do so. You find a small room. In this room is a spell circle described upon the floor. There are 3 holes in it and a central cavity. That's in the central cavity. You can put like a ball. By the looks of it, it's got a concave shape, and the other 3 ones all obviously hold things like candles because there's some residue wax. Over here is a large mirror, and over here is a pew. This room smells of divination.
Boy, I wish I knew what magic did.
You notice, by the way, that as you like stand a bit away from the pew now, you notice that the bottom has like drawers. Like,
Look inside the drawers.
yeah, inside the drawers are like things like candles. There's often steel to light them. There's some balls of different qualities. They're not great, but there's a book on like basic divination, divining through mirrors. It's all basic stuff, but it looks doable.
It's nerd stuff.
Nerd stuff. Gross. But I suppose I could try and put together whatever it is going on in here.
I mean, there's like multiple types of divining rituals, and they're all written as instructions on how to use the room.
So it's basically just like a tool to do magic stuff,
Yes.
not anything in particular or like sinister.
No,
Oh,
just a
Given
room
that I don't
for
know-
looking around.
given that I don't know divination and I don't know any of that stuff,
I mean, you can
let's
always
see
try.
exactly. I mean, I could try, yeah, but like,
Magic
what
isn't
would I
all
use it
spell
for?
slots.
Sometimes it's doing dorky things with circles.
Sometimes it's lighting very expensive candles and having a good old shot of bourbon.
Or you could go find the one guy in your party that would really be able to be familiar with this or something.
Yeah, I mean, I could probably chase down Carl and like signal him over.
Call.
Peek curtain, like waving.
Cool. You find Carl. There's nothing stopping you from doing so, so you can do with Carl what you wish.
Oh, I found a circle. You like circles, right? You read books.
You could say that, why?
I don't know. I figured maybe you could make some use of it. I'm not entirely sure what it does, but it looks like the kind of thing you'd be into.
Yeah,
You
okay.
have hobbies.
You show Carl the divination chamber.
Ta-da! It's a circle.
Detect magic says, yeah, divination probably.
Yeah. These are all like
It says
specially made and enchanted items for the purpose.
It says magic equals yes.
If you look through the book, you think you can replicate the contact other plane or scrying spell effects. If you tried.
Ooh.
So you can attempt to looky-loo on someone with a magic eye, or ask
Yeah.
questions of another dimensional being.
Yeah. So, both in and out of character, I'm not very familiar with what Dim was up to, and I guess the Val could fill me in now.
Yeah, like if you wanted to know, I could tell them.
I imagine you
Tell
talked
you that,
about it on the way here.
Yeah, but the point is I don't know also out of character because
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah, you
just-
weren't there.
Oh,
Fill
yeah,
me in.
I followed Deem up to a random mountaintop kind of ruined area, and there was a big fancy like temple question mark building full of a whole bunch of fancy stuff, and they like dispelled some kind of ward and then went in there. I didn't follow because I figured I'd get obliterated by them if they found me. So you could probably, spy on whatever they're doing in there.
yeah. If it's a properly warded area, I imagine it wouldn't be very possible to scry into it. Although, you know what? I'm going to joke around because that's how this party works, and use the Dorado to scry on the back of the Dorados.
You try to cast Scry upon Deem. All right. What is your fifth?
Upon
Hmm?
What
Upon-
is my what?
Upon who?
Upon the bag of the Dorados that was handed by them to the advisor.
Cool. All right. What's your fifth level spell DC?
It would probably be like 21. Technically, if I had any 5th level stuff.
Well, all right. In that case, I guess you make the spell save. So, you now have a magical sensor that follows around the counselor, who was in their office, sitting and writing at a bit of paper. What do you wish to know about them? Because you just see them there. By the way,
Will they- Yeah.
how does it work again? Okay, scrying. If the save fails, you can see and hear within 10 feet of the subject.
Yeah. Yeah, let me check how Screen works myself, because my computer is so slow. It's criminal. Really need a new one.
Do 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 do. So, scrying on the counselor who is on your side. That said,
No.
he seems to be
Yeah,
right.
I mean, honestly, I'm kind of rubbed the wrong way by the, re-establish order by any means necessary part, because that's kind of a nasty whenever it happens. So, meanwhile, Dim seems like kind of a harmless eccentric, so I'm having doubts about what our assignment is at all.
The counselor writes in a little book about how things are going awry, about how all this paranoia and superstition is going way out of whack, and that he himself is starting to feel similar for some reason. It's making him uncomfortable. He's starting to have second thoughts about hiring people to help him out. They just arrived and such bad things happen cannot be a coincidence. No, no, no.
It's your old friend Paranoia.
The spell will last for like a couple of minutes, so you can watch them write.
Yeah. And I guess I get to read what's up.
He just starts to write like, I mean, on one hand, it's like it's a day-to-day account of what happened today and how he's doing, how he's feeling. But on the other hand, it's like people usually don't write like more detailed murder attempts in their book like this. Like he writes down with a remarkable flourish about how saw a man cough up his own heart.
Wow. Okay. Then.
So yes,
Yikes.
as the spell ends, whoop, you're left a little bit concerned about the circumstances.
Yeah.
Nice room though. God dang, that chair was nice. Mahogany table, lacquered in deep brown.
Certain I don't want to hang around.
Valentine's probably sat on that bench the whole time, like, ugh, wizards.
Smelling the various candles.
They all smell very weird.
Smell like magic and nerd stuff.
You could call it that, yes. They smell like things you wouldn't buy because you're not doing magic.
Smells like Doritos.
Dim. Nice, but not dim. Is there anything else you'd like to do with the magic divination chamber?
I mean, I guess I could give like a cursory attempt of trying to screen them, but like I don't expect that would work because.
Alright. You do not contact other planes and risk going insane and instead try for Dean. You burn up some more expensive candles to do
okay,
so.
you know what? If you want me to.
I want you to do nothing.
Okay, then let me just look up how contact other plane worked as well, because.
The way it works is you send your mind to another plane of existence, although here it works a bit differently because of how the setup is. Then you ask questions of something that is incredibly powerful and well educated. It will answer you in with one-word questions, one-word answers. Sorry, your question could be as long as you want to, but they answer with like yes, no, maybe, victim, attacker, etc. Then you have to make a special check. I think it's an intelligence check, and if you fail it, your brain blows up for a couple of weeks.
Good.
The fun part is that you get to decide between the elemental plane, positive, negative plane, the astral plane, outer plane, demigod, outer plane, lesser deity, outer plane, intermediate, and outer plane, greater. Each one has an increased chance of knowing the answer and not lying or providing a random answer, but the DC to not go insane goes up as well. So it's like, yeah. I like those odds on greater deity. Got a 12% failure chance, but you only have to pass a DC 16 in check. Your intelligence and charisma scores fall to 8. You cannot cast arcane spells for 5 weeks. Ooh. Harsh. But hey, you get answers. Maybe.
Yeah.
I really like that a random answer is like the entity tries to lie but doesn't know the answer, so they just make something up.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's kind of a bum deal, honestly.
Yeah. Well then, you can step away at will.
Yes. Like,
See for a moment, like Carl considering, it's like, wait, I'll go mad.
That's not good.
Wait, I need my brain.
I need to be able to cast spells or people will fire me.
Or the rest of us will die.
Using all your spell. This is basically useless.
I can't believe this spell. Alright, kids.
like, I guess I would like to know whether the like the current king of Last Wall, did he come to power legitimately or not?
Ooh. So you're gonna give it a go then?
Well, no, because I was hoping I could just ask an Empariot about it.
Who?
Like, if I have to barge into a deity's...
Well,
Yeah, so I guess second screen attempt, I get one and...
who do you scry on?
Them.
Alright. 21, was it?
Well, I have a +6 from intelligence and a +5 from spell level, so makes sense.
Well, Dean fails against a 21. So you can see Dean.
Oh shit.
They're doing unspeakable things with a body-length pillow.
Wow. Wow. No trust. No trust. You see Deem and their immediate surroundings, like 10 feet away from them. They are in a posh library where magical lights are, as well as many exotic-looking artifacts. They are perusing books. You notice that there are many cool, like, awesome magic books, but they go for, like, this weird book that's probably a fiction title, by the looks of it. Got a lot of pictures in it, too.
Lol.
And they're like, oh, man. Oh, I'm so excited to see where this goes. To wait for this one for weeks. Yeah. They are spending the majority of their time just reading.
Well, so that's not, in fact, a particularly harmful activity.
They're not going to hell for this one, though.
So, that cool chamber full of all that cool stuff, that was all just memorabilia.
It's pretty much like a man cave.
You can try to
Yeah.
cast Detect Magic through a scrying attempt.
Yeah, it's like a 25% chance, so I need to get a 16 or higher.
I mean,
Yeah,
you
sure.
can throw as many Detect Magics at as you want. Well, you succeed on your second attempt.
Oh, okay, because it's a roll under. Okay, sure.
Some books are magical. Some of the weapons are magical. There's a pillar that's made out of a quarterstaff. You can see the handle at like the top of your vision range. Also magical. There's a lot of magic around here. It really feels like this room is at one point shared by someone a bit more serious about their beholdering business.
Ooh, that's a... I mean, I guess they would have shifts in power. I just wouldn't think that, like, them would be the one to manage to depose a previous one.
Perception check. There is a specific book that may or may not catch your eye.
Yeah, perception check. I'm
Check
actually
that percept.
decent at that, kinda. Yeah, sorry. It's pretty bad. Okay.
It's enough to notice that there is like a lectern where someone would write a book over here. You can't see the title because the book's folded open, but it seems to mention a device that can take one's negative personality traits and project them into others, like into the environment. Sort of like sucking all your bad juju's out and spilling it out of the environment instead.
Yeah, and there was the mention of like the overbearing paranoia by the chancellor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah. It's definitely fits together. Okay.
Your vision is starting to blur a bit as
Yeah, this spell's probably running out.
you don't have a lot of juice in that as baby boy you are. My goodness, Belmore, where did you find this extra kawaii? And why is there a candle that smells like Doritos?
Why shouldn't there be?
Hey there,
Don't
gamers.
judge us.
Hey there, gamers. Do you want to smell Doritos all day of your life? Consume product. Don't think. Consume product.
Don't think.
Don't exercise. You'll just waste all that Doritos energy on non-gaming.
God, I can't imagine. my
You'll need
house
that energy
smelling
when
like
you decide
Doritos
between this
all the
expensive
time.
cosmetic and another, or how many loot boxes you're gonna buy for the day.
If you order now, you also get the Mountain Dew candle.
Like if you don't think.
Consume product. Consume product. But Doritos isn't edible. Consume product. You return back, having used up another set of expensive magical candles. Valentine, the place just smells worse every time a candle gets lit. Like, you've used 6
Right.
by now, the whole place just stinks.
Yeah.
Wow, what do you even? I mean,
Valentine, why do you put up with all this big stinky?
okay.
I mean, I wanted to see where this was going.
So, if we want to cover up the smell of the candles, how about we just borrow some vomit from Captain Jerkus over here?
That is quite gross.
There's surely no shortage of horrible smells going on at the moment.
There's
Yeah.
also the wax that's like in the indentations, so...
Yeah, I'm going to pick that wax up and like, if there's like a candle stub, I'm going to just put it in Captain Jerkus' mouth. Like, he ate the candles, that's what happened. That's why they're gone.
The whole situation looks ridiculous. But at the very least, there's an easy scapegoat.
Huh?
It's the guy
His
who ate the
third day
candles.
looks ridiculous, like, it's getting to me.
I mean, there's nothing in reality that's physically stopping you from doing this. He groans, he's like... You put the candle in there, but...
Yeah, like it's sticking out.
The candle
Okay, and
probably
how about
tastes
we
worse than it
depart?
smells.
And I'll write some obscenities on his face. I believe.
Okay, no,
sneaky
don't do
revenge.
that. Like, it's his
Too
fault.
Too late. It's his fault for being a jerk.
Valentine like stomps off. He's a jerk. He's a big stinky now.
He deserves it.
So there's some extra vomit smeared.
The whole situation is kind of gross. In the meantime, Grubba Ding Dong and Galterino are hanging out near a magic circle, though Galter seems to be investigating the nearby flowing river.
Yeah. Just kind of looking around.
The passageway seems to go nowhere particularly exciting. Like, it goes on But you don't know if there's anything out there that's worth going for.
Oh. Hmm. I sent Ade out to scout ahead this way.
The current here is kind of strong, so roll me some swim.
Okay. That's a 32.
In that case,
Jesus.
yes, Ade can make it. All the way to where the water starts to go underground again. There's a small, like, temple-like section here. It looks older than the building itself. It's all bronze and brass statues, nothing too expensive or worth taking out of the walls. Whiskers on kitten smell. Now, if anyone would find it, it would be Belmore, I guess.
Let's.
It's the Valentine cologne. Kitten whiskers on kitten. What about my dog's biscuit paws? Anything you want to do out here?
What kind of emotions are they sending my way?
Shiny. Like a little bit of like, ooh, ah. And it's like, it's kind of spooky, maybe.
And wet.
It's certainly interesting.
Okay. Yeah, well, call her back. Well, Ada seems to think there's something interesting over that way.
Let's check it out.
The current is kind of strong there. Can you morph yourself into a some kind of fish or something?
Yes.
Shape of tuna.
What? Duck? I don't know. Some kind of water creature.
Octopus.
Yeah, we've seen the giant octopus, which was cold.
Who wants to smell an Ohio scented candle? Not much to see,
Finally.
not much to do. Welcome to Ohio, the unscented candle.
Are you alright over there?
Do you want a candle that smells like nothing? Hand poured bunny farts.
It's time to start with the candles.
These are all the scents and flavors in the world. Why bunny farts? If this keeps up, I'm revoking the good boy status of everyone in this room. All right. What do you wish to do? You want to turn into an octopus and drag your friend over there?
I don't know. I don't know actually if that is a good idea.
Question is, you've turned into the octopus earlier. Was that today still, or was it yesterday? I don't remember.
I mean, we slept. We sleep.
Okay,
so-
so you still have one pub for today. Okay.
Yeah. What other animals I can transform to again? I forgot. Beast, shape. Oh.
Make a move, baby. Left, up, right, down. 1, 2, 3. Well, does Grubbelix do what he promised to Galter?
I'm not sure if I got any good fish I can transform into because There's no decent table.
Uh,
Like, you can probably turn to, like, a decent-sized tuna that could carry Gulter forward.
Let me just check. Like, I would recommend that you turn to something amphibious because otherwise, if you turn into it and then
Yeah.
you turn back when you.
Maybe there's a frog of an appropriate size.
There we go. Freaking dolphin. Perfect.
A dolphin is not that amphibious.
You could do like, I don't know, a
So
hippo.
frog. Snapping turtle. Perfect.
I'm just
Giant
saying,
frog.
man, if you can turn into a Goliath frog, that'd be awesome.
Giant toad.
Sounds to me like someone just wants to see a big frog.
Like, even if you turn into a. Well,
Like, you only need like 10 to 15 feet of swim speed to make it there.
yeah.
Question is, I need something that can carry Golter, and he's quite heavy. So
I mean,
well,
giant frog, or I guess the giant toad has more than enough strength to do it, actually.
yeah, giant
You're
toad.
large and you have
Apparently-
19 strength. You can pull them.
Yeah. You could turn into a crocodile.
Yeah, true.
Be a
That
crocodile.
sounds actually good. Let's do that then.
Crocodile.
Who the
I'm
hell
gonna
is
transform into a
flags?
crocodile.
You can't fish a tuna, but you can't tuna fish.
Amazing.
Grubelix becomes Grubafrogalix. Or Toadalix, I don't know.
Crocodile X.
Alright. Does anyone else want to interject another suggestion? No?
I don't know.
Grubelix become large and crocodile. He takes his friend over. You arrive at the small temple. Better strike up a light source. As said, the temple is filled with brass bronze statues. The whole place looks ancient, but not necessarily touched or tampered with. There are... Why is there a little green square here?
That's the special square.
Oh my goodness. Alright. Alright. Is that a crocodile carrying a toad? Okay, okay. There.
It's a crocodile
Interior
carrying-
crocodile? What?
It's the classic.
I drive a Chevrolet movie theater.
Man, get a load of that boy. Get a load of that tail. God dang, those things can run. How did... Look at that sprint, Jesus.
Yeah. He swim, he walk, but most importantly, he attack.
Yeah. Well, Grubelix, whatever form he is, carries Gulter over to this temple area
Yeah.
with a distinct serpentine motif.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw.
Yeah.
Ah.
Oh,
Aw.
shit, he's left behind.
What do you do once you arrive in this mystical temple?
Defile it, probably.
Do not take a
Uh-huh.
dookie in the corner.
Yeah. That's all. Yeah. Oh. I hop off Crocodilix's back.
There's a lot of dust around here as your feet land down.
The Grubbadile.
Grubba, is that true?
Crocker.
Grubba, is that true?
Okay. Well, is it some unexpected?
It's the place to be, Disney XD.
Hmm.
It is a strange temple, but as mentioned before, it is, by the looks of it, older than much of the other things you've seen around here, and probably been abandoned for a good long while.
Yeah.
It's not been touched. It might have been looted, but a lot of the statues are still here because they're mostly made out of bronze and brass, which isn't all that expensive in the great term of things. There are several metal bars that cage off round holes leading into the ground.
You said there's dust covering the place.
Yeah.
Are there any visible tracks in the dust?
Moment. All right. No.
So that either means that nobody comes here or just the beholder comes here.
Where everyone who comes here is polite enough to leave their dust behind.
Yeah. So, what's behind these boxes?
You take a look down, and down below you see a cistern. It's a round concave bottom that is shaped as if a ball would fit there perfectly. It's filled with bones and skeletal remains, as well as some personal belongings by the looks of it.
Okay. Weird.
Every one of the cisterns is filled in such a fashion, although with differing amounts and differently sized and shaped skeletons.
Gotta keep it fresh.
Yeah, man, you gotta flip your skeleton bones every once in a while. Keep them fresh.
Do the bars look like they could be moved?
Probably. They're set into the wall in such a way that they might slide up or down.
Okay. And this stone here has the look of an altar.
Yes, it does in fact look like an altar. It is an embossment, a bas relief, was one might call it, of serpentine humanoid creatures dancing in a circle around a great big flame of sorts.
An altar for Gulta.
The altar is also represented on it, and on the altar is a great... It looks like a pile of discs, coins maybe, offered to the great flame.
Oh. Wait, are those like a picture or is there a pile of discs?
Bas relief is like depicting this.
Okay. Huh. I am... I pull out a couple of silver coins and drop them on the altar. See if that does anything.
Well, let's have a think, shall we?
And
How
then
much
everyone
silver is
dies
this?
again.
I drop down 2 coins. Blink, blink.
2 silver coins are put down.
Hey, big spender.
Two of you probably like lean over this altar and look at it. The coins, it's probably just a trick of the light. They seem to glimmer for a moment.
Interesting.
Can probably afford to go in.
Obelix, does this look like any kind of deal? I'm assuming you know something about religion. This might be a wrong assumption.
I should know something about religion. But I can't speak right now because I'm a crocodile.
Who knows?
Crocodile
Look against
sounds.
Yeah, Grubelix makes crocodile noises. That's
Yeah, no, I'm I'm a nature boy, not a religion boy. No, no. You should
Trees
ask
are
your
my
local
religion.
cleric instead.
Okay. So I just looking at group leaks and the
Shaking my
crocodile.
head.
Yeah.
Having a one-sided conversation with a crocodile.
It's great. It's absolutely great, really.
Okay. Okay.
I mean,
I-
talking to lizards is kind of Gulta's MO.
Hmm. I dropped down a gold coin on the altar. See that?
You notice that the coins now distinctly glimmer for a moment and twitch a little bit.
Oh, was there like a certain amount of coins depicted in the?
It's the way it's depicted. It's like it's a stack. It's just a big pile of it.
Huh.
Like you think the pile would be like a foot high given the size of the discs, but
Yeah.
it might just be like artistic interpretation.
Okay. I put down 6 more silver coins.
So now there's what, 9 silver?
8. 8 silver and 1 gold coin.
Glimmer, glimmer. Twitchy, twitchy. Someone
Does
wants
that-
you to show them the goods.
Does it get any stronger? Or
Yeah,
thing?
it seems to get stronger with every coin you add.
I have no idea if this is a bad idea or not.
I mean, you're not spending really enough that if you just feel like leaving the coins on the altar, you will be super
Okay.
down.
10 more gold coins onto the altar.
It is now that you hear a voice that echoes in these ancient halls. Yes, yes. Provide. Provide!
Great, it's a temple of capitalism.
The capital of capital is capitalism.
How much do you need, boys?
More. More!
They always want more.
The sacrifice worthy of a god!
Which which god am I speaking to?
The great and wise god of serpents.
That explains the snakes.
That tracks. Do you have a name?
You can call me Slitherix.
Can I pinpoint where that noise is coming from?
That's perception or sense motive. To see where this ethereal booming voice comes from.
Perception. 20.
It's coming from in front of you. You know it's not behind you. So it might be the altar. Sounds pretty close to.
Okay, I look more closely around the altar. Does the stone look like it can be moved?
The altar looks like it can't be moved. There's no rails or anything, and it's pretty heavy.
Front of me. Yeah, check the pillars for any holes or the
Nope.
statues.
The pillars are solid metal, as are the statues. You can always try again if you can get them to talk some more.
Oh, spirit of the snakes. Would you? Do you wish for more than coins?
Gemstones. Powerful magical relics. Ooh.
I'm trying to listen more closely where
Give-
in which direction it's coming.
You give it the squinty eyes. Roll me some more perception or sense motive.
Squinty ears. Does Ade have? Ade has
Now
the
I'm
same.
gonna be nice. You're pretty sure it's coming from, like, oh, let me just grab the ruler for this. It's a very least coming from like this quadrant, and it's within 30 feet of where you are. So if you just throw your hands around enough, you'll probably find it eventually.
Yeah, I go stomping in this direction.
Do not leave my mighty altar. Provide me with sacrifice. Ah! You bump into
Ah.
something. You can't see it. You hear a dull as something hits the floor.
Okay, I try to grab it.
As you are a soldier with cat-like reflexes. No offense meant, cat.
Somewhere Valentine sneezes.
You pick something up by the collar of its shirt.
Now,
Ah!
drop the invisibility or what have you.
In front of you, you see a goblin. And then there's a goblin over here too.
Oh no, goblins.
Yeah,
Oh.
the goblins. The goblins!
Hey Valentine, did you catch a cold going out there?
Oh, that's a big goblin.
Must be something in the air.
Ah! What do you want?
So, how long have you been here then?
The couple of weeks.
Huh.
Maybe a week. I don't know. We don't care too much about how long it's been. We've been here. That's all that matters.
So you're squatting down here?
I mean, the other dark next to here, it's easy to go up and down.
Oh, where's the connection?
He points over to a set of double doors over there. Wouldn't recommend it for two big people like you, though. The drow are pretty active around here.
Drow, you say?
They tend to ignore us, and they tend not to come by here directly. Because, you know, there's a big eye boy living up there.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Does the eyeball thing come down here?
Not since we've been here.
Anyone else from up there come down here?
Not really. This place seems to be mostly... I mean, sometimes someone comes by. We put on a little show. We're pretty sure that if you put enough money on there, something cool is going to happen. Just look at the altar. Look at this whole place. It's got to mean something, right?
They do glimmer. Have you been stealing the coins people had? Have other people been leaving coins or stuff here?
Maybe. What are you, the cops?
Got to confirm
No.
snitch.
We're driving an
No.
honest business. We're selling people religious safety of mind.
This sounds familiar.
Yeah, okay, I just dropped the little guy.
Ah!
But then I scoop up my coins.
Hey, you paid us. You can't just take your money back after our religious experience. We provide it.
No refunds.
Yeah, I do not care.
You have been religioned. Give us our money.
This is how religion works.
The Protestant religion, ladies and gentlemen.
And that is the day that Galter invented Protestantism.
Yep.
Because he wanted his money back. God, I demand a
Never-
refund.
They'll never get into heaven now.
Heaven is not a
Right.
capitalist regime.
A couple of swindler goblins.
We're not swindlers. We're religious experts. Spiritual guidance.
Right. And what's that other set of double doors then?
It's just a brick wall. Someone breaked it up a while ago by the looks of it.
And does that lead anywhere?
It collapses after a bit.
Oh, okay.
By the looks of it, there may have been a chamber there, but it's like been collapsed.
Okay. Well, if we were willing to pour a ton of money on this stone, that might do
Yeah.
something. maybe. And if we were really desperate, be able to nick the brass statues from here and the pillars.
And maybe see if
Yeah.
those skeletons have some pockets.
Yeah. You know, some scrap. Sell them to a scrap merchant.
While they decide if they're gonna rob this place blind. What are Valentine and Carl doing?
Desperately trying to dry myself off.
Press the digitation. Press the digitation. Destroy water. Destroy water. Destroy water. You have Grubbelix for that, actually.
Yeah,
He's
but
the blow
off busy
dryer of the
being a
party.
crocodile.
Destroy water is not a freaking cantrip though.
Wait, really? I thought it was 2. I think it's maybe 5.
It's level 1.
Oh. Well, still neat. Water be gone. My waters.
What is?
You ate all my water. I mean, you're a druid. You could change your spells later and always have a blow dryer on.
Yeah.
Let's see, what would it affect? Up to 2 gallons of water per level. Wow, that's a lot of water.
All water.
Valentine, you'll be dry as it gets.
Completely dehydrated.
I don't think desiccation damage exists in Pathfinder. Didn't 3.5. Kind of neat.
That's specific.
Yeah. But it wasn't a sandstorm splat book, which was like all desert and stuff. So yes, mummies do dehydration damage. As does
Dang mummies.
sucking up all the goo. Alright, well, Coulter and the other guy then, since these two buggeroos have nothing to do and are waiting for you.
Well, I take a peek behind the big statue and at the big statue.
The way it looks is this probably was like at some point a dome, but it's mostly collapsed. It's all probably would have looked very nice because the remaining paintings are quite beautiful and depict this snake as some radiant divine being. The statue itself is that of a very prideful snake coiled up and sitting in place. It looks like a great father overlooking its students.
Right. What's that?
Do 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 do.
And is there tunnel behind it lead anywhere?
No. It goes into a small like network of things, but there's nothing there, and it's all very tight.
Okay. Well, it's a interesting curiosity. As way to the Underdog, apparently.
Yep.
I guess we could report this back to the others.
Oh, it's called the Dark Ones in Pathfinder, not the other Dark.
Oh.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. It's the same place. It's language is about the conveying of information.
Well, I guess I could take a peek behind the doors.
Take a peek behind door number 1 and door number 2, because it's a double door. You see a long passage. The walls depict movement, walking. There's a trail going from here to here, and a small passage like from there to here. Judging by what your spatial awareness tells you, there cannot be too much on the northern exit, or the south one, really.
Yeah. Well, I'll take a look. Yeah.
The south one will be a staircase going down. Despite being a carved staircase, it eventually makes way for natural stone and tunnels, and it goes down for hundreds of feet.
Yep. Since it's a dog.
The one to the north depicts a small coffin, atop which are 2 incense holders. There's still the lingering sense of incense, and there are 2 magical blue flames in the corners, lighting the place up with a ghostly light.
Oh. Well, that's something.
There is an inscription in Draconic on the casket.
Do I happen to Peek. Kind of. Nope. Well, isn't that something? Kind of ominous looking too.
Very ominous. Whoever this is was very important.
Probably has some kind of defenses on it,
Most likely.
since it doesn't sound like it's been looted.
No. It looks like someone walked in, saw this, and was like, yeah, I believe it, and left.
Does my well, I guess I could, take a look, see around. Do I see any obvious? Well, do I detect any magical traps?
Do you have Detect Magic then?
No, but I have spellcraft.
You can roll me some of that. Or some Perception.
Yeah. Let's see.
As you squint very closely. Yeah.
Maybe there is.
Those
Maybe
magic
there
lights
is.
might explode like fireballs. You've seen traps like that before, where the torchlight is set up.
I pick up a stone and throw it at the coffin. Let's see if that triggers anything.
You decide to defile and desecrate someone's coffin. Not much
Yeah.
happens.
Right.
Yeah. Doesn't really mean anything.
Though to be fair, a stone is not 5 pounds, which we all know is the standardized weight for all pressure plates. And neither is it alive.
Well, there's a coffin.
This is why you always want a 10-foot long, paralyzed crocodile as a stick. It's alive and weighs more than 10 pounds.
Do you understand the draconic Grupalix?
Grubblich, you don't have to stay a frog the whole way through.
I'm a crocodile.
Well, fine. You don't have to be a crocodile. The whole way.
Crocodile.
I forgot where I wrote down my linguistics. Nice. No, I only speak common and Tweety.
And crocodile.
That's too bad. Well, if you could summon up a creature, we could run it in there and check for traps.
That's rude. But an option.
That doesn't sound like a very druidy thing to do. Summon an animal, then immediately get it
Hey.
killed.
Traps are the circle of dungeon life.
My D&D group, somebody has rusty bag of many tricks, and he just throws goats at people and all that stuff.
Alright, well. Tell me what you do, Grubble Ding Dong. Show me the beans.
Oh, we could leave.
I mean, you have Ada. You can always throw Ada at it.
Yeah, but we care if Ade dies.
Yeah, I guess so.
I could just summon something.
You
That's
can't while
so
you're
nice.
shapeshifted, though.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna shapeshift back.
You're a human again.
Yay.
Well, you're a druid. That's not really a human.
Hey.
You don't
Subhuman.
bathe enough.
So what should we summon then?
Something that weighs over 5 pounds.
Alrighty.
Time for a horse.
No, not this time.
Hey, listen. Communal Mount is an
Freaking
amazing spell.
oh,
Communal Mount is an amazing spell. You can just summon 6 horses just like that.
yeah.
It's like
I'm gonna learn
console
that
commands.
someday.
Spawn horse.
There are too many horses in this goddamn room. I mean, it's one way to diffuse combat. It's just too much horse.
When it's so much horse you can't move, combat automatically ends.
Status restrained. Calls horse.
Status
just-
effect horse.
Let's
Very
just
good.
summon a freaking pony, I don't know.
You summon a pony. What do you want it to do? Your wish is its command.
Yeah, what did we want to do with it? I kinda missed that because I was looking at stuff how wild shape works.
Oh, just have it run inside that room there.
Yeah, sure. Let's just do that. I don't care.
You run it in. Nothing happens.
Amazing.
It's probably safe.
Ha- ha- Uh, have the pony put its on the coffin lid?
Clop, clop.
Can you do that?
I don't know.
It knees at you.
Can your pony do tricks?
The pony does not know how to feel about being told to do tricks.
Do a backflip.
It cannot.
Jeez, what a lame horse.
Wow. I can't believe you called a horse lame. That's their word.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know what it's like fighting off farmers with shotguns to protect your lame friend.
Okay. Well, the room seems safe.
Safe enough.
Watch in. Right. So, does this thing have a lid?
Yes, it is a very distinct lid. Do you wish to see what's inside?
Well, I'm an adventurer, so yes.
No shame in looting the dead, they say.
No, they don't need. Yeah, I have a crowbar.
Alright, in that case, you can give me a flying dropkick and open it that way. Just get a
So,
running
yeah.
start and go kabam!
People's
I just
elbow.
Jam my crowbar in there and I crack this bad boy open.
I like it. Alright, let me inside. Oh. Oh, excuse me. That was
Bad
not,
die.
I got a lot of bubbling going on in my bubbly gut. Bubble, bubble, bubble. Inside this fine is a serpentine figure. Their skeleton is like wrapped around them. They probably had a snake tail for the bottom half. Interestingly enough, they have this long spear-like object that sits in their chest that they clutch at. They are also wearing some golden, like, religious items, you assume? Items that had, like, religious significance to them.
Uh-huh.
So, hey, loot!
Yeah, I
Do
look
grabby
at it.
hands at it.
I take everything that is not nailed down except the bones. Yes.
Gravelix can watch as his arms go wide and, like, scoop, and he comes out and it's, like, full of stuff.
I'm used to that side. Every time freaking Gola gets alone into one room, he comes out with either poison food or freaking glue or stuff like this. Stuff like
Da-da-da, da-da. You got loot.
Gold.
Robbed a grave.
Ah, I certainly do like it.
Alright, so what did I get?
Like I said, you mostly get a whole bunch of fun, like, religious icons that you probably... It's just not very nice of you to take this with you. Other than that, the spear is... Well, it's a bit of a weird spear. I'm looking at the specifics on this. So I can describe it properly, because this is a very specific spear. It's pretty big. Where is it? Where is it? Show me the goods! God damn it, I went too far, didn't I? Gosh dang it, I went too far in this book. Okay, this spear looks hella funky. Let's see. If you grab this particular spear, which is looks to be made out of a solid piece of bone and decorated with coral, if you grab it, you will hear the ocean. It is also inscribed with some sort of language. You don't know what it is.
give it a spin, just kind of whirl it around.
This is basically let me just double check this because I don't know if this still exists in Pathfinder, but I might be confused with. Yeah, I might be confused with. This is it's a long spear that is balanced in such a way you could hold it like a normal spear if you wanted to.
Okay.
And like I said, it probably has the +1 property because you feel that extra.
Okay.
And just as like a little extra bonus factoid, it has an extra die of damage when set against a charging creature on top of its double damage. So it's really good if something comes running at you. Nice.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. I show it to Grubalix. Hey, fancy spear.
Ain't that some shit? With the pain in your chest.
Yeah, you can dual wield them.
Indeed.
Probably shouldn't, but you could.
Sounds dangerous. Very dangerous. But hey, you found a cool spear. The other items are kind of miscellaneous, like cool stuff, like some fancy robes and all that. That altogether are like 2,500 gold pieces if you can find a buyer for it.
Ooh.
You're just making a quick and dirty estimate there.
Yep. Well, that all goes into the bag of holding.
Just pour it on there.
How much? How much did you say?
2,500. This is a decent estimate, you think?
Right then. Well, I'm happy.
Yay!
Yay.
What kind of weapon do you use?
What do I use again? Right now, a scimitar and darts.
Scimitar and darts. Do you have a shield?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like I said, you can use this long spear as a normal spear too.
Oh, nice. Okay.
It's a quite of a weird heft, but hey,
This is the spear, not the polearm. So, do you want? Do you want the weird spear?
you can hear the ocean while you hold it, and it
Yeah,
looks
it has
hecka cool.
Yeah, why not? Freaking wave fobbing, let's go.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that you don't want it.
I have my polearm and my things do not really work with non-polearm things. So yeah.
It's a fascinating tool. This spear. After all, it's beset with corals, pearls, and sapphires. It's made out of a single piece of bone. There's a weird notch in it. Looks kind of cool.
And I have a bag full of gold stuff, so I'm fine.
Yeah. If you were to sell this, its store price is like 2,305 gold because of the long spear status. So you could sell it for half of that. If you wanted to sell it, I mean, this spear looks hella gnarly.
Say, religious curiosity or some kind of some religion, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
If only you could read those inscriptions, but you don't even know what language they are.
Does Rubalix know?
No.
Oh,
Except
yeah,
if they were
If
doing
you have
it.
linguistics, you might be able to figure it out.
But what? Linguistics? No.
What languages do you all speak?
Common and Druidic.
Galter?
Common and Dwarven.
Nope. It ain't either of those. Looks very fluid, the language.
So Elfish.
Nope, probably not Elvish. You've seen Elvish enough times in your life to know this isn't Elvish.
Then it's the Draconic.
Maybe it's one of the more exotic languages.
Might be.
Oh, yeah.
It's freaking Carl Nerd when you need him.
You could go back to Carl. You know, you can always just go to someone if you want to see them.
Yeah. Let's head back. Unless you have some other ideas what we could do here.
Isn't there another door we can open over here?
Oh, this one. Yeah. Guess we could look at the brick wall they were speaking about.
You take a look, and indeed see a wall of brick.
Gasp.
Yep.
A lot of water is dripping down it, so the brickwork is kind of smoothed out by erosion.
Oh. Wait. Is the water trickling through the brick wall?
Maybe. It's hard to tell from here. Maybe we should break the wall open.
I listen at the door. No, the wall. If I hear water swirling
Perception.
behind it.
I mean, you're in a place where it constantly rains. It's very likely.
Well, 18.
Does Carl have Aquan? Anyway. What do you do next? You're gonna go back and regroup and show them the semi-payment you have?
Do I hear water behind this wall?
Yes. It's entirely likely that this is water seeping through the wall.
Might not be the best idea to batter it down then.
Hey, it's sealed off. That's where the best loot is.
True.
True. No, it's 100% truth. Can't be anything else.
Do we know where this leads to?
What leads to?
Yeah, at the top.
There's a room there distinctly, but it's collapsed into itself.
Oh, okay.
Well, I am of two minds about this. Do you want me to batter down the brick wall with water behind it or not?
Maybe then everybody is here and thinks that is a good idea.
You might flood the
Knows what
basement.
is behind the freaking sealed wall.
I mean, what's the worst that can happen?
Follow.
Let's get everyone here so we can all drown together.
Sure.
Yeah.
Since you're here, you
I
can
won't drown. I have my beast.
you can tie some rope around the pillar and just drop the rope in, so you can climb back and forth with ease. There are better ways to do this, so to speak.
Yeah.
Now then,
Oh yeah, we need to head back.
Also, can I become medium again?
you can go back and become human. Yes.
I mean, I can't change the size of my token.
Oh, sorry, I forgot that's not a thing players generally get access to. There you go, Grublix, you're back to normal.
Yeah.
The gang returns to the gang. Do 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 do
Oh.
do. What?
Give me a moment. Do I have rope?
You better have rope. Who doesn't have rope?
Yeah, let's see. Because I this kinds of crap. I don't have rope. That's fun.
I have rope.
Because
Rope, bombs, boy.
people, tie a rope kind of leading here so we can get back here more easily. So they won't
Yeah, sure.
win. Have this kind of rope we can hang on to.
Yeah, let's do that. So I'm gonna use up my rope.
Da-da-da-da.
Let's bring up some rope to create a pathway
Cool beans.
if you want to return here.
And I assume after that you meet up with your buddies.
It's buddy time.
Guess so, yes.
Our whole gang meets up again.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
Well, firstly, share information of what we found, the like secret base full of nerd stuff that doesn't actually seem menacing in any kind of way. The results of the scrying fest and whatever Galter and the boys found.
Hmm?
Yes.
Yeah. We can show the spear to Carl.
Carl, you said you speak Aquan. Mina is
Did you
muted.
fall asleep?
Oh
They
no.
fell asleep.
Oh, okay, right. Helps to unmute things.
Ba, 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 ba.
Let me look at my notes. In my notes, I have like the list of like the dozen languages and like, yeah,
God,
Aquan is on the list.
God, Carl is such a nerd.
Neat.
Just jealous.
I speak 2 languages. That's more than most.
Da, 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 da. You
speak 4.
can read what's on the spear.
Should be Draconic. Sorry, I fixed the typo now. I didn't notice.
The Aquan language details, it's getting kind of funky. It's somewhat abstract because a lot of it is names, you think.
Ooh, okay.
Part of it also seems to detail things it's killed or something.
Whoa.
Wow. It's like a spear that keeps notes. Okay.
So it's a freaking nerd.
Like everything else around here, apparently.
Perhaps. Let me just see. Okay. I think this is a history check, actually, to see if you can... If you know what this thing may be. So if anyone knows history, maybe all this information can compile into an answer.
No chance from me.
No dice, buckaroo.
Mine
You're
is
the
one,
heist guy.
actually.
You don't do thinking. Thinking is for the rest of the party. Well,
Hmm.
you rolled well.
It's not great.
It's enough to know that this is the Notched Spear, a particularly legendary item that is known as a legacy item. If you fulfill certain tasks for it, it will bind to your spirit and imbue you with certain powers.
Oh
this
no,
pat-
it's the spear that made mine.
Oh no, it's a quest.
No, it's not a quest. You don't have to do it. You can just sell the weapon if you really wanted to. This spear is made from a single rib of an enormous sea serpent. It comes from the plane of water, and you presume it will probably be filled with cool kinds of, water-related powers if you were to find a way to activate it. But you don't know the process of doing so. You didn't roll high enough for that part.
Well, now that I know roughly what to look for, I guess I'm going to go to the library and see if there's a book on this in the library.
We'll cut the session here, because I think this is a good ending point. We're getting towards the end point anyway, so...
Okay.
Next
You
time...
could just say the group like went and took a nap or something.
Yeah, probably needs a nap after all this, especially the wet cat.
Yeah, like we've had this like level of exhaustion since the shipwreck, and we haven't rested since.
It's time for bed.
Yay.
Everyone would just fall into bed and then just like...
Nice.
Cool. Everyone say goodbye to stream.
Bye,
Bye.
stream.
We'll take care of experience.